Hello, welcome to Module 5. This week, we're going to be talking about empowering patients through education. So, you have two assignments for this week. The first one is to interview an older adult, and let me pull up the assignment here. And this is worth 35 points. And what you want to do is you want to see how well the older adult is able to use digital technology such as patient portals or other types of technology to help them with their health. So for this interview, you can either interview the person and then write a paper on it, or you can do a video of your interview and your thoughts. So, what do you need to do? Well, you need to talk to the patient and see if they use a patient portal or health app. Now, of course, you want to find someone who has tried it at least. Otherwise, there's not going to be much for the assignment. But if they've tried it before, see what they liked or what they didn't like about it. Were they frustrated by anything? What were barriers that helped them or that made them feel the way that they do? Um, and then, do they feel that technology impacts their health? Is it helpful? Is it not helpful? Would they rather just always have face-to-face meetings with their doctor? All right. Then after the interview, I want you to reflect on if there's anything that surprised you about the interview. Um, was there something that maybe you didn't think about that older adults might face when they try to use technology? Then how does this align or different from what you've learned in class? So from talking about stuff in this session, did it align with what you thought it would be or not? And then what role can you play in improving patient technology use or experience? So maybe from your interview or things that you've observed working, what would help the older adult or anyone for that matter um, be able to use technology easier? All right. Then the second assignment is for you to um, develop a patient education source. All right. So let's look at that. And this should just be one page, and you can of course, do it on the computer. And it would be great if it's colorful. So if you bring or import some pictures, that would be helpful for the patient to understand. So create a simple, easy to understand educational handout. So you can decide whether you want to focus on a patient portal, how to use that, or maybe a mobile health app. All right. Then you want to include in your handout what the tool is and how it would help patients and step-by-step guide in very easy language so that the person is able to follow it. Graphics or icons to make it accessible. So if there's a QR code that they can scan, that would be helpful as well. If there's resources online that you can put a link to that you think would be helpful for them, that would be great as well. But again, you need to make sure there's clear steps on how to use the technology in whatever you're going to be talking about. So then we're always worried about privacy when we're doing things online. So any tips for keeping health information safe online, that would be great to include in your handout. All right. So this is going to be graded on content. So we want to make sure that the information you include in the handout is accurate. All right. That it's plain language, easy to understand. Then clarity and readability. Is it written in, again, plain language? Is it very easy for the patient to grasp what you're trying to say to them in the handout? Then creativity and visual appeal. So the more colorful something is, and if it's not real cluttered, if it's very just clear and easy to understand with some visuals, that would be great because we want it to be really organized to where the person's not going to get lost trying to go through and try to understand what the handout is saying. Then application to patient empowerment. So the tool needs to emphasize how it empowers patients to take charge of their health. All right. Um, Provide some safety, privacy tips. And then finally, APA and professionalism. So don't want a lot spelling errors or grammar errors. And references are always important. So, where did you get the information that you included on your handout? Make sure that you cite it at the bottom of your handout so that people can always go back and double check where you got your information. All right, so I think that is all for this week. If you have any um, questions, please let me know. Otherwise, I will see you next time. Okay, bye bye.